Fred Warner, the Niners locked up Fred Warner, who is a Hall of Famer in waiting. He's one of those, oh, that's right. He's in on every play, it feels like. There's certain guys where you go, I don't know if I'd spend a lot of money on that position, middle linebacker. But Fred Warner, he's great. And, they had Patrick Willis. Luke Kuechly is another guy who got made famous by playing that position because it felt like he was in on every tackle. And Fred Warner is a wonderful player. And I don't know how the Niners are affording all these players. It feels like, Brandon Ayuk, they overpaid for greatly. They got him, and then Kittle got re-up. Brock Purdy just got paid. Trent Williams. You got Fred Warner here. McCaffrey gets good coin. Man, you keep saying, they have a fantasy football team, it feels like. It's like, we're going to take that guy and that guy and that guy and that guy. How do we afford them? I don't know. But Fred Warner got paid, and the Eagles extend head coach Nick Sirianni. Boy, it was, a year ago that we were talking about? Maybe last February we're talking about, can Nick Sirianni survive? And now all of a sudden he's getting extended. Now, this won't be the last time I think we ask the question, is he going to get fired? Because it feels like, hey, they won. He got rid of coordinators to save his job. And then all of a sudden you get Saquon Barkley. If I'm Nick Sirianni, I send a thank you to the Giants front office. I just say, hey, thanks for being stupid and allowing us to get Saquon Barkley. Thanks for the new contract, by the way. I'm going to be around to haunt you for a while. Seton, what's the poll question today?
Well, we got a couple of them here. We got one here from Paulie. Would you rather be hands down the best middle linebacker in the NFL or the 10th best quarterback?
That old Paul.
Okay. Would I rather be... Okay, is the general consensus Fred Warner is the best middle linebacker in football?
I think so.
Okay. So would I rather be Fred Warner or Dak Prescott?
You think he's right around the 10 spot in the rankings?
I think that's generous.
Yeah, it is.
It's probably more like Geno Smith.
Wow.
I could go by NFL.com.
Okay, are we including the money that you make?
Yes.
Oh.
But if you're the 10th best quarterback, you're not a superstar. You're paid well.
Okay, would I rather be Fred Warner or Geno Smith? Because Geno makes more money. Fred is going to go to the Hall of Fame.
It's probably some combination of like Jared Goff, Geno Smith, Brock Purdy.
Okay.
That's probably like 9, 10, 11-ish.
It's hard to pass up on getting $50 million. So you have to factor that in. If that matters to you, making 50 as opposed to 25.
Correct.
But Fred Warner is one of the greats and will be a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done. I don't think the quarterbacks we've mentioned are going to go into the Hall of Fame. Yes, Paul.
Like Jordan Love on NFL.com 2 months ago was ranked as the 10th best quarterback in the NFL. He's good. See my voice go up?
He's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't seem to be on a Hall of Fame path yet, but
I need somebody who's played a longer
Justin Herbert was ranked 11th.
Yeah, but you got to get somebody who, because Fred Warner's, this is his last contract. He'll probably play 2 to 3 more years, and that's it. Geno Smith is going to play 2 to 3 more years, and then he's done. Brock Purdy is going to play a long time. Jordan Love's going to play a long time. So I'd have to have something that, the careers equal out a little bit with how long they played, how much more they're going to play. But Fred Warner, he's a great player. He just gets lost on that team because that team is so, star-loaded, front-loaded with stars. Yes, Marvin?
He'd be more famous if he was an edge rusher. I think the game has changed so much where guys like Micah Parsons and Abdul Carter, they would have been middle linebackers 25 years ago.
Well, Micah Parsons kind of plays both. I mean, that's the value that you have with him that, looking back in college, they weren't quite sure, what position he would play. And I still go back to that draft when my source said, he's the best player in the draft. It's just he brings baggage with him. And this was, a scout who said that. And Micah Parsons, I don't know exactly if you say, what his baggage is. I don't even know what it was going into the draft, but he's proven to be a Hall of Famer, it feels like, in waiting there. But he does both. He's a hybrid. And that's what Lawrence Taylor was. Lawrence Taylor was a linebacker, but then all of a sudden it's like, hey, get up on the edge, and you knew he was coming. and there was nothing you could do about it. Micah Parsons is certainly like that. Yes, Todd?
I know how revered the quarterback position is in the NFL and in all of sports, but wouldn't you want to be, all things considered the best at what you do, even if it's the second or third or fourth best position, or however you want to rank the most important positions in a given sport, that you're the best at that?
Okay, I'm going to ask you, though. Do you want to be Geno Smith or Fred Warner?
I think I want to be Fred Warner.
Okay. All right.
There's definitely a glitch to walking around saying you're a quarterback, even a top 10 quarterback, but you're 10th, 15th, whatever. But the best at your position is it's kind of a big deal. You get, with the Mike Singletaries of the world and the Urlachers or whatever. I want to be part of that group.
Okay. But Geno Smith is making, what, $45 million a year? Yes, Seton?
Up to this point, they've made about the exact same amount of money.
Okay.
The thing for Fred Warner to me is, that's a healthy living anyway for a normal person.
Sure.
But he's on a competitive team, and I'll take that. That there's a huge amount of value in that than just like monetary.
Yeah. Okay. But that would probably be the comparison I would use, because Fred's in his early 30s. Maybe
he's turning 29 this season.
Okay. Man.
4 out of the last 5 years, first team All-Pro middle linebacker. You're going to the Hall of Fame if you do that.
Yes, he's a great player. There's certain players where you go, damn, he's in on, like Palomalu did that. Like you'd just say, he's in on Junior Seau. Every play, it felt like. Luke Kuechly, every play. Roquan Smith is another one, that great middle linebacker as well. That used to be, the position, certainly when you talked about defense. But you had your front line that geared everything to you. And that's why Singletary and Butkus and Nitschke and Jack Lambert, they were, Ray Lewis, they're in on all the tackles because the line allows that to happen. I mean, you still have to make the tackles, but that's where we focused in on Mike Singletary's beady eyes there. He was waiting. Yes, yes, Seton.
It feels like the position, too, that you become a head coach after. Like the middle linebacker, and then you transition right into head coaching after that. Kind of see the field. It's like, hey, you know me.
I don't know. Singletary wasn't a very good coach.
Yeah. Well, Vrabel's pretty good, but
yeah. Well, Vrabel didn't get dinged up, I'm sure, like Mike Singletary did.
Yeah.
Ray Lewis did. I don't know. You want those guys to be your head coach? Okay. Yes, Marvin.
And Fred Warner's got a play that he's mastered. The punch, like when he hits you and he punches to get the ball out with the fumble, unbelievable. Best linebacker in football, but not as famous as, we think he should be.
Yeah, because Bosa's more famous than Fred Warner on that defense, right?
Correct.
Because he's an edge rusher.